Well, Happy New Year, vinyl community people. It's Mike MGK Boston back with a video on January 1st. So, pretty quiet New Year's Eve, actually. We had friends of ours and another couple coming over, and then they had to cancel last minute due to illness. So, in some ways, it was a positive for me because I didn't have to stay up till midnight because I'm old and I never stay up that late anymore. Anyway, yeah, so we just had a mellow night, and that's fine. Up at a decent hour today. I just watched Rob Walker's Vinyl Tag last year. I remember clearly watching Rob's tag, and I was able to just knock it out that day without a whole lot of thought. But the questions this year seem to be a little more thought provoking, so I'm gonna have to put some deep thought into that, Rob, and I'll let you know when I come up with one. But thank you for giving me that shout out. I really do appreciate it. That's great. And yeah, I've been watching your channel, Rob, for since I got into this. This will be my third year coming up, I think, in March of making videos. And for a year or two before that, I was watching them, and that only got more intense during early 2020 with the lockdowns. I was just watching YouTube all the time. But anyway, that's history, and we're moving on. So today I'm just going to do a quick video for Jacob, our friend over there in Denmark, Jacob, whatever. He's his long going here alphabet thread. I've been mowing my way through. I cheated a bit. I think I started around the letter G, and now I'm going to do the O's and P's. I'm going to do a double today. So yeah. So anyway, let's just dive right into it. Friends of the embryonic robot right here. It's Orchestral Maneuvers in the Dark. This is Pacific Age. This is their 7th LP from 1986, and there you have it. Yeah. So OMD, as they're known more commonly, and from that album. Here's the 12-inch single, remix version of Forever Live and Die, which is track 2 right here. Yes, on the Pacific Age. So here's a double shot of OMD for you, right? Used to buy a ton of 12-inch singles back in the 80s. Still got them all, thankfully. All right. Shifting gears completely. Buckham. It's Buck Owens. Yes, and his Buckaroos right here. So I'm not sure the release date on this one. What do we got? 1964. And this is recorded in mono. Not that my ears ever noticed much of a difference with that, but Close Up the Honky Tonks is a really good one on here. My Heart Skips a Beat, of course, Together Again, and that's Together Again's been covered by a number of people, including the great Emmylou Harris. That's a really good version of that one she does. The beautiful Emmylou. Oh yeah, here he is again. Your Tender Love and Care from 1967. There's some fan lurking in the background there. So, of course, the title track, Your Tender Love and Care, and then Sam's Place was a big single, kicking off side 2 right there. All right, so, yeah. All right. Then we got If You Ain't Lovin'. There's another lurker right there hanging around Buck. She just leaning over his shoulder there, stalking him, whatever she's doing. If you ain't lovin', you got to have a license. I love it. I don't even know what that means. I guess I assume you have to have a license to drive. Maybe not, though. He's a cowboy. All right. And then we got the Best of Buck right here, Volume 2, because Volume 1 wasn't enough. I don't even have Volume 1, but I got Volume 2. So I've got A Tiger by the Tail. Again, the song I mentioned earlier, Together Again, Act Naturally, really good. Speaking of Buck, I just thought of something here. Let's see here. Yes, here it is. Thankfully, the Ys are nearby. So this is a really cool collection by Dwight Yoakam right here. I want to say this is from 2007 on the New West label, and it's all Buck Owens covers here. And Dwight was from Bakersfield, California, former home of the late great Buck Owens. I think there's some nice photos in here. Yeah, there they are. So basically, Buck Owens was his mentor. There's a young Buck right there. There's a nice shot of the two of them right there. So yeah, can't leave them, Buck 'em. All right. Yeah, Dwight sings Buck. Not to be missed. That's a good one. All right. And then, this is a very interesting one here. Someone showed this recently, and I can't think of who it was in the vinyl community, but this is just an album. It's some covers he does on this, like Bridge Over Troubled Water, right? So it's not all covers. There's some originals on here, but it's kind of sounds like it's pop rock more than traditional country and western, which is what Buck Owens does, or did rather. So I mean, the cover he does of Bridge Over Troubled Water, even if you're not a country or western fan, it's really listenable. I can't recommend that one enough. And so yeah, he does a little blurb here where he talks about he actually was sympathetic to the hippie movement and during the Vietnam War and the protesters. He was actually kind of sympathetic to that. So I think that's why part of the reason he did this album. So yeah, that's Bridge Over Troubled Water. All right, where are we now? A little Sinead O'Connor right here. So this is Lion and the Cobra. It's their debut from 1987. I did have a vinyl copy of this a million years ago. It grew legs and went away. I don't know where it is, obviously. But I had a CD copy because at the time CDs were coming in the late 80s. I was starting to buy duplications of some of my favorite albums. And this is one here. And this is one we lost, actually, in 2023 is Sinead. So, you know, you probably know this album. If you don't, Jackie Mandinka was the big single from this one. And Jerusalem is another good song on this. Jerusalem, I'll spit that out. And what else we got here? Her fourth one called Universal Mother. Couple of moments on here. Fire on Babylon's a good track if you wanted to look that up. And where are we at now? We're going down to Florida. Oh yeah, Florida Man. The Outlaws right here. It's just a collection here. These guys were from the Tampa area in early to mid 70s, pumping out the hits. There goes another love song, Green Grass and High Tides. Is probably, if you listen to any kind of classic rock radio, you're going to hear Green Grass and High Tides at some point in the day. It's kind of a staple. But yeah, a little Southern fried rock for you there. Into the O's with the Outlaws. And out of the O's into the P's, we got some singer-songwriter action, the harmonizing sounds of Poco. So on this, you got Richie Furay, who'd been in Buffalo Springfield, Timothy B. Schmidt, who'd later joined the Eagles, some other personnel here, and Jim Messina too on here, and later he did that Loggins and Messina thing. So just really nice harmonies here, kind of in a tradition of Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, but doesn't have that edge of the Neil Young's guitar on this. It's more AM radio, top 40 friendly from the early 70s. You Better Think Twice is a good one, and Picking Up the Pieces is another big Poco classic, if you were to look up any Poco. Yes. And hats off, right? I can't compete with that hat. You've heard a 10-gallon hat? That's a 100-gallon hat right there. That's the great Johnny Paycheck. So this is just a compilation. These song titles, you just can't get more hilarious than this. You've got Drinking and Driving. You got Friend, Lover, Wife. You got 15 beers when a 12-pack's not enough. I'm the Only Hell Mama Ever Raised. Slide Off of Your Satin Sheets. Loving You Beats All I've Ever Seen. Yeah, that's just great. And he does a cover here of Jerry Jeff Walker's Mr. Bojangles here. So that's pretty great. Oh, yes. All right. We got here, yeah, Palehead. So I've never seen this in the vinyl community, so you're seeing it here first maybe. So this is Al Jorgensen from Ministry. It was a side project, just this one-off called Trait. And Ian Mackay, formerly of Minor Threat, and Fugazi does the vocals on this. Don't Stand in Line. I Will Refuse. I guess it was big in the clubs. That's why I bought this way back when. And No Bunny, too, is really good. I remember a friend of mine in college, he had a 12-inch single, and it had that on side A and that on side B, if I recall correctly. I Will Refuse and No Bunny. It's kind of cool here. Palehead Trait. What's on the inside here? No photos of Ian Mackay or his friend Al. They sat out for the photo shoot, I guess, on this one. So that's Palehead. All right, now where are we next? We got some Fish. We're heading up to Burlington, Vermont, just up the road from me. I could be there in a couple hours if I get in the car here. And this one, just called Rift. And this is from 1993. I'll spit that out. What do we got here? We got the follow-up, and that's Hoist from 94. I got one more thing over here I was going to show. Tied into this, I saw Fish a couple of times too. I saw them this year, actually. Not this year, but this year, 1995. So I drove down with a couple of friends. I was still living in Eastern Ontario at the time. I was down to Lake Placid, New York. Beautiful area in the summertime, but don't try to drive there in the winter. A drive that should have normally taken probably 2 hours took 6 because we drove through basically a blizzard. But when we got down there to Lake Placid that weekend, so it was like December 27th show. It was between Christmas and New Year's Eve. And they were playing 2 nights, and we saw them on the Saturday night. And yeah, here's my ticket right here. Sorry, I was wrong. It was before Christmas. It was December 17th. So there's my old ticket stub right there. So yeah, Ended up seeing them too the following summer, 1996, in Plattsburgh, New York, at the Clifford Ball. If you've ever heard of that famous show, it was a wild weekend. And so here, anyway, they did this live at Madison Square Garden. It's a double set. Sorry, it's a triple set. Whoop, lost one there. Get in there, you. You can see a nice triple set right there at the Garden. Never been to Madison Square Garden. I never had the occasion to go, but maybe. Still young. Anything's possible. So anyway, on the topic of New Year's Eve, right? So this kind of fits in on New Year's Day. So yeah, again, that was a great concert at Lake Placid. You can see on the back of the ticket, it was the site of the 1932 and 1980 Olympic Winter Games. So I saw them at the Olympic Arena, or hockey rink there. And this is another studio album from 1996. It's just simply called Billy Breathes. So that's Fish. Gone fishing. So anyway, wherever you are in the world, I'll wish you a happy new year. And I'm for sure going to be doing that Rob Walker Vinyl Tag 2024. The questions are really awesome. The dinner party question, that's going to be a really funny one. I've already got some ideas spinning for that one. Great questions, Rob. So anyway, everybody, again, happy new year, and I will see you in the next video.